when you look at what has Guyana got to do here. Trinidad and Tobago know that with just under 11 runs per over required, dot balls, 51 with 90 runs off 51 balls required. Who's the main man here for Guyana?
I think the main man here is Dowling. He's got it back right through this innings to give Guyana a chance here. He hasn't had too many problems scoring. He's there, he's in, he's set. And we've always talked about one of the early batsmen batting right through the innings. It maintains momentum, and with the experience of Ramwar Sawan at the other end, who hasn't appeared to be very adventurous so far. If no wickets are falling, these two have the experience to take it home. The important thing now for Guyana is not to lose any wickets.
Well said by Jeffrey Lujan. Now Trinidad and Tobago can look for a little piece of inspiration in the field here. Almost every game they've played in the tournament, they've been able to execute a run out. Dillon or Ricardo Powell or Kyron Pollard. And they're looking here now for a leading feed, someone to initiate something against a pair of batsmen, 65 runs from 54 balls, who are going well. This is cut and thrust time, folks. 8 runs have come off this over. 12 overs gone, 89 for 2.
So a very pivotal time in this game. If Guyana can start to break out, get some boundaries, then we have a game.
Trying the ball, we've had rain breaks, 3 rain breaks in fact throughout this final. That's why Nicholas Ramjas, a young man, talented man, has the rag out. Disciplined cricket from Trinidad and Tobago will get the job done.
They will know that at some point these batsmen have got to start taking more chances than they are now, and that's what they're waiting on. They've got to capitalise that, get rid of one or both, and then they'll be home. There's not much experience coming after. These are the two key men, two men who can get these runs, but at some point they're going to have to swing for the fences.
You can feel the tension. Both Sawan and Ganga talked about the prize money and they played it down. They said national pride was at stake. Trinidad and Tobago, double regional title holders in first class cricket. Guyana, the one-day champs of the region. Good support for both teams. The runs neat and vociferous at the moment, but it can erupt at any point in time. The rate required now has gone up to 11.07 runs per over. A couple of boundaries are needed. Look at the tension. Look at it.
Come on, Nicky boy.
A strange phenomenon about this 2020 cricket. Nicholas and I were talking about it earlier. There are very few close games. Very few, relatively few close games. But you get the feeling that this one could set up to be a real final. There's enough experience out there at the wicket to bring things into a really tense situation. If Guyana can push on a bit and not lose any wickets, and we could really have a serious finish on our hands, which is what everybody would want to see.
Come on, boy!
Just 6 runs off the over. Another good over by Nicholas Ramjas. 13 overs gone. 95 for 2. Come in, Mike Hazeman.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens if Trinidad get up and Guyana lose? You're going to leave your dad here and just go home by yourself? That's in the air. Sweep on the offside, and it's a boundary. Okay, Clifford, that's what you were looking for. Come back to you now. What happens if you win and your dad loses? You going to let him drive you home?
I guess so.
Okay, so you want boundaries, you got one pretty early in this over.
Yeah, I think once we could score about 8 or 9 for the next 3-4 overs, and then we work it at about 12 for the remaining 3 or 4 overs, it should be okay.
Okay, all right. Well, let's just have a bit of a look. If I can get round, just have a look at the view from here. It is quite remarkable. Have a look at this. It's a terrific view, and everyone here in the Antigua Athletic Club is really enjoying their time. Cleveland and Mikel, thanks very much for your views. Let's go back to the commentators.
This is a brave move from Darren Ganga to get the off spinner into the attack here. Boundary off the first ball.
Come on, Shazin, come on, boy!
Special. What I will say, folks, is that with the ball turning into both the right-handers at the crease, it's an opportunity for the batsman. The right length and have enough dial to turn and over where leads boundaries into something that can work for him, because it's 100 for 2, 76 runs needed to win, but only 30 balls left. Sawan needs to step up his pace a bit more.
Well, Travis Dowling has been making all the running so far. Now is the time for Sawan's experience to kick in. With a loose one there. Sawan just 21, but he's taken 27 balls to do it, and that's not good enough in these circumstances.
Well bowled. Bowled the ball before. Pablo got away with a long one that could have gone for 4 behind. He's gone for 6 or 4 balls. Ripping the ball is always going to be a problem with the rainfall that we've had. Spinners need to be able to get that purchase.
Get out!
Well, it didn't start out looking like such a good over. There have only been 6 runs scored, 1 delivery remaining. Required rate up to 12.16.
In the season, he's played the only innings he could play, which is to get himself in to try to find form, because he's got the class to win the match. There's no use back in the hutch.
Someone will take the catch. It's down towards the boundary. It's a great catch. It was a really difficult one. Del Arnatesi took a wonderful catch against Barbados in the deep, similar to that one. This time he couldn't quite hold on. It's high in the air. The ball is slippery from the rain that you had.
Funny, isn't it? A little injection of stroke play, a miss by Mervyn Dillon. Now a really, really difficult chance put down. I mean, they're miracles when they're taken. You see one of those a year. But I agree with you. Is it changing? I think on balance you'd still rather have the runs on the board, but they're classy players to be at the crease.
Especially Sawan. We saw him and we've seen him so regularly, but in that one-day series against India early in the season, he finished so magnificently for the West Indies. More than once he felt the West Indies were out of it.
There is Alan Stanford, whose brainchild this is. That's Kenneth Allen with him, the legal advisor for the tournament. He's been with the Stanford group for 24 years. So this isn't all a new thing. The group's been operating for a long time, and its involvement in cricket is doing wonders for everybody's spirit here. Alan Stanford and Kenneth Allen.
I think, of course, with this tournament and the success of it and the enthusiasm, the energy, it's come a time when West Indies cricket was down the doldrums. There's been a continuing clash between the the board and the players, the West Indies are losing. Just needed something like this, an injection.
2020 needs a close finish too. It's odd how few games have gone to the wire. It'll be very good for the tournament, as it was in England yesterday up in Nottingham. The final between Leicestershire and Nottingham should go to the last ball. That is the dream ticket for Alan Stanford and for all of us in the ground. The last ball finish here. 56 from 25 balls.
The shot will change its around, and the batsman will score just before this.
The tournament began 5 weeks ago, immediately captured everybody.
One day by Sarwan, tremendous straight drive down the ground has raised the 100 partnership between these two. 101 from 79 deliveries. Now Merv Dillon comes back. Superb opening spell of 2 for 18. Dismissed the opener push, and then had the dangerous pincher of Crandon, caught it backwards square leg. Now he comes back, he just has one over up his sleeve. Needs to break this partnership.
Sarwan Dowling's view of this will be. There's something to be said for having pace on the ball. Well, Merv Dillon will give him plenty of that. He'll mix it up and bowl lots of slower balls. He can bowl both the leg cutter and the off-break slower ball. But certainly look to get it in at the toes and not give the batsman room to throw their arms and hands at the ball. Well, the batsman will choose.
Good effort here by these two batsmen. Travis Dowling has been the one to lead the way, in fact, in this partnership. 102, he's got 78 from just 57 deliveries. Sarwan.
Well done, delay!
Looking for it. Where did it go?
Well, I think it was just a shame that Wayne Rooney wasn't on hand to knock it in the back of the net.
No wonder he's limping. He gets his foot to it. Where does it go? It goes to backward point. No. And he's still going to bowl the next delivery. Look, he doesn't have a broken ankle.
Don't even have those proper boots anymore.
He's feeling it now, though. Because that was hit firmly back to him. He stopped 4. Let's say that he did, because it was struck firmly enough. That's one of the shorter boundaries on the ground. That would have been 4.
See, you get to the World Cup finals and look what happens. That is 4. No, he's very stopping that. Merv Dillon will think he's unlucky with this leg buys, but the fact is he's just down the leg side to risk inside edges, deflections off the legs, which is what that is.
As you said, he's looking to spirit him at the toes. You've got to be really accurate to do that. He does come from wide of the crease, so the angle is such that if he's just offline a bit, you're going to get that kind of result. Both hands still, and was disappointed that he didn't catch it, as he should be.
They're hard to take in your follow through. The ball, you're following through and the ball's coming at you, and there's sort of two pieces of momentum meeting. He really had to react quick. This is firmly struck by Dowling, and Merv Dillon can't hang on now. He's just missed a chance down on the boundary's edge where he came in too quick, the ball went over his head. It's the most humiliating thing for a boundary fielder to have the thing go over your head, but only go for 4, not over 6. So he's just having a difficult 10 minutes, is Merv.
there, and he just seemed to have missed it. I was going to say that the lights there maybe a little bit lower than some other grounds, but he picked it up in the end. You mentioned how Merv Dillon has gone through a difficult period recently. This dog has gone through a lucky period, because that's the third catch he's offered and hasn't been taken in the last couple of overs.